I'm Dr. Padmaja from Vijayawada, and I'm a practicing obstetrician and gynecologist with a 30 years experience in this field. I have a special interest in reproductive medicine. Body, different tissues make different secretions. For example, the skin sweats, the mouth waters when you have tasty food. Like that only, mm, even in the vagina, when there is a baby and it is growing, it is going to have lots of blood flow coming into it. So whenever there is more blood flow, there is going to be more amount of fluid that also comes out as a transudate. So as long as this white discharge is just a little sticky, non-irritant, non-foul smelling, there is nothing to worry. But it is always advisable to have a checkup with a doctor, because some of these white discharges are caused because of erosion cervix. That means the pathway to the uterus, it has two types of lining. So there is a lining that looks like this and there is a lining that looks like this. So inside, outside. So sometimes at the mouth of the uterus, that lining comes out like this, and the lining that is inside gets exposed to the outside vaginal layer. So then there will be more amount of discharge coming from here. So that is called an erosion cervix, and that is absolutely fine. There is absolutely nothing to worry about it. But if it is smelling bad, you have a lot of itching, then it is likely to be a fungal infection, and that needs to be treated. But you can only make this out only by a clinical examination with your gynecologist. This infection is absolutely local. It will not go into your body or harm the baby. So what medications are given are also ones that are put up in the vagina itself. So that will be absolutely safe. It is also important that you have good bacterial flora. So take plenty of curd, and for your perineal hygiene, use any liquid soap that is specially designed for women's intimate hygiene. Do not wash, do not put anything inside the vagina without a prescription. Because the baby that is growing inside the uterine cavity has antigens from the father. That means the baby is not only the mother's tissue, the baby has the father's antigens also. So to prevent these babies from being rejected in pregnancy, the mother's immune system undergoes modification, where you don't want to reject something that is foreign to you. So this immune modulation in pregnancy makes you more susceptible to other infections also, because then the viruses and all hijack our inability to fight, and they do make women more susceptible to respiratory infection. So most of these are viral infections. For cough, if there is no green discharge, if there is no breathlessness, if you're able to do your daily activities, if you're able to sleep well, then there is no need of using any antibiotics. Use steam inhalation. You can use turmeric, you can use menthol based, you can use Iodex, something Vicks, anything. You take nice steam inhalation. But you need to remember that you need to use that steam inhalation at least in the morning, evening, under the blanket. Take deep breaths, hold and leave. Do that at least 10 times. Do that till you are completely recovered, and for 1 week after that. If you're not feeling better by the end of it, do consult a doctor and take antibiotic use. But and for the blocked nose, nasal drops are pretty safe. For weakness, just make sure that you're drinking plenty of water that is hot and cold. Don't drink anything that is cold. So lemon and honey with lukewarm water really boosts up your immune system, as long as you're not a diabetic. If a woman in her pregnancy to optimize her health so that the baby who is growing inside, it grows up in the best environment possible so that the long term health benefits of that baby are there. So for example, suppose nowadays, because pregnancies are happening at a comparatively later age group, that means we used to see, when I started practice, women who are just 21, 22 becoming pregnant. Now by the time women get married and settle down and decide to have a baby, it is almost 29 to 30 years. So we are seeing a higher incidence of having thyroid disorders. We are having people with high blood pressures. We are having people with diabetes. So if the mother's body is having all these diseases, the baby is growing inside the same body. So the baby is being exposed to these metabolic changes that the mother has, and the baby's genetic programming of metabolism will be telling that, okay, this is a diabetic environment, I'm going to grow into a diabetic, and that is where the programming will occur. We don't want babies to have that. So that we want good care, so that women eat right, they exercise right, they don't put on too much weight, we pick up any complication that is warning itself, or try to minimize complications, so that there is optimum health for the mother and the baby.